Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what solutions can video game companies implement to deal with the misogyny and racism that is rampant in open chat comms, versus making it the responsibility of the targeted individual to mute/block. I worked in gaming and it's definitely something we had to try dealing with. But there's only so much you can do before it starts to impact normal users. It's not the platform, it's the users. We have to encourage people to be better. Chat filters are a nut. For example, say you want to censor us. Okay, they get around this by typing a 5S, as 5, a 55, 455, 4SS, 4S5. Okay, so you block all of those. So they just type ASS, A_SS, etc. You get the picture. So you block that. Oh, but you gotta block //SS, //55, etc. now too. Then it turns out one of your dungeons is easily abbreviated as and now that's getting filtered. Whoops. Here's a different example. Say you're trying to do something good and cut down on spam from RMT. Well, you not only end up with the same wacky space and alternate character issues as before, but by banning WW*, you're now getting weird reports from your German players who are getting randomly censored. Welp. It's still going to be on people. You can put things in place where if someone is reported too often in a short period of time, they get silenced, but people are assholes and that does get abused. It's a delicate balance between trying to control a wild situation and not being so heavy-handed that your players are negatively impacted through normal gameplay. I have never seen so many spellings of us in my life. Does shadow/blocking us help? You know where it blocks it to other users but the op doesn't know it's censored. I have never seen so many spellings of us in my life. That knowledge is the proof that he actually worked in gaming. GameEd student here. If I had a penny for every time some 12-year-old called me the N-word on Xbox Live. Back during Halo 3 apparently every kid in the chat banged my mom. Well, of course your mom wanted to bang us all. We all had a dad that owned Microsoft. Make single-player games where you aren't forced to interact with other people. That sounds like heaven. Can I have it on a physical disk and not need to be connected to the internet for it to work? Oh. And put wires on the controllers so I never have to charge them or lose them. Rocket League took a hardline approach to trash talk and banned all profanity in the chats. Now you can't say basic words like rude or big without your entire message being turned into asterisks. Why big, though? He made a typo and meant Ig. Easy mistake, N is next to B on keyboard. There's nothing, you physically cannot make a filter accurate enough to do that. People instead need to be responsible. Report individuals who throw around hate speech. And understand that the company bears no responsibility for the opinions of their player base. Yeah, all games need an easy-to-use reporting feature. An easy-to-use reporting feature. With consequences that are clearly defined and consistently applied. The issue is that you will also have the problem players using it to falsely report decent people just to be assholes. Have a system where you inform a player that action was taken against someone they reported. Specify if it was for harassment in comms/chat, griefing, hacking, etc. That way players know their reports are being heard. Have a community manager make posts on your game's online forums giving rough numbers for how often different kinds of reports come in, and how many are invalid, if you want. It doesn't have to be a perfect system, but by gathering and sharing data with your game's community and giving feedback to players that report negative behavior, you demonstrate a desire to make improvements and curb toxicity. Edit, a fake. A lot of companies do half of what I mentioned, where they'll tell you that they got the report and maybe they'll say action was taken. But I'm not aware of any that will show their report data to the community, either in raw reports or in detail. I think seeing the numbers would help put into context the extent of a community's issues. If players knew that 25% of abusive chat reports and 10% of griefing reports boiled down to a gamergal. Get back in the kitchen, the community could be motivated to moderate itself. Maybe it would have a better chance of improving behavior than having an arbitrator come in and deal with it. Overwatch does this. You'll get a message when logging on that while they can't give any details, action was taken against someone you reported and thank you for doing so. I will always report people for cheating or throwing because I know something will happen. Blizz seems to do a good job generally making positive communities and games with wide appeal. It's amazing how many women are on WoW and Overwatch, feels like they are around 1/3 of the population. These people are hilarious. You have a button you click once, and you permanently stop that person from talking. If you want to, you can fill out a form telling the developer what a person did wrong, and they will be punished if it can be proved, or they have got numerous reports already. What else do you want? I'd say you can't stop people from talking, but you literally can with the mute option. I feel like these kinds of threads are made by well-meaning but ignorant people riding the social justice bandwagon started by the Floyd protests. It's like you said, we already have tools in place to combat people being assholes, but I think they either don't realize that or want some kind of Infinity Gauntlet-esque snap my fingers and it'll all go away perfect solution. That said, I think we can do more, but that's mostly just getting more and more players to actually use the tools we already have and not just sit around and take the abuse while screaming about how there's nothing they can do. They're just lazy and looking for something to criticize. Yes, judging by the sheer amount of people in here saying they are peeved that they have to click a few buttons and fill out a form to report someone. Seriously. You want to banish people out of playing an expensive game they bought and you can't even take a moment to tell the developer why that is so. That's a garbage mindset. Make reporting someone easier. Most of the time it's either takes a while to do or it isn't available at all. That's the best solution IMO. When Halo came to PC there was basically no report feature. I believe there still isn't. You have to use some crazy keyboard shortcut no one's ever heard of, Win+G, remember their name case sensitive, then search for them using Microsoft's horrible Xbox Game Bar app. Even the report form, when you finally get there, is horribly designed. Microsoft, a $1 trillion company. You'd think they'd actually care a little about bringing what was once the greatest game series of all time to a new audience. What solutions can video game companies parents and teachers implement to deal with the misogyny and racism? FTFY. Bring back dedicated servers so we can vote or have the server admin ban them like we used to. It isn't foolproof, but I still play TF2 and I ran into a lot less of this shit when server banning was an option. Bring back dedicated servers. Not profitable == request denied. None. They'd literally have to block every word dealing with color, women, and everything else. There'd basically have to be no chat. Agreed. I remember playing Wizard 101 ages ago, and even though the game censored a whole bunch of words in order to chat, some troll managed to work around them. B-U-T-T-S. Reddit chat filter, you can't stop me. I got banned by Ubisoft for 30 minutes because I wrote coon in the sentence. The superhero name of Eric Cartman was the coon. I got an email stating after review the ban was right. Go fuck yourself, you lying pose, you buy. Spanish players got banned for writing Negro meaning black. Censor shit. I survived being called a Nazi, because I'm a German, dozens of times. My sexuality got insulted hundreds of times. You know what happened with me. I stopped giving a shit about stupid online jerks. That's it. Spanish players got banned for writing Negro meaning black. On today's episode of Computers Are Dumb and Fail Easy. I got banned by Ubi in Rainbow Six Siege for half an hour for talking about my cat who was a Maine Coon. They don't take context into account at all for some reason. You grew a skin. It's a very underrated skill in current year. Nice shot. Nice shot. What a save. Nothing. The internet was always a rough house where people freely scream at each other. After 20 years of gaming, it almost feels unnatural if there is no bitching going on in the chat. Mute whoever you want individually, but that's it. Seriously, why a wider community should cater to the need of those who take it too seriously. Go against it with humor, ignore it completely, but the internet will be the internet and people will be people. If someone needs a pure and sterile environment to exist, then it's up for them to find it, but not by forcing rules on others. Report those who take it too far, but there are many people on the internet, and devs, moderators can only do so much when the chat happens in real time. Just think about COD lobbies. As a woman, I agree. It's part of its charm, really. The charm of racism and misogyny. You're basically asking how video game companies can enforce morality. That's not their job. They can censor some words in some chat room, but they can't make these people become decent human beings. That job rests on their parents, their educators, and ultimately, on these individuals. There is none. You are basically saying that a corporation should tell people what to say. Why would you want to take that choice away from the targeted individual? Are you advocating for thought police? Yes, they are. We love censorship now. They're oppressing gamers. Gamers. Nothing. People should be aware that trash talk is a significant part of open chat video games. If you can't handle it, then don't play. How do you even get cyberbullied? Just turn off your mic, just stop playing the game, it's not hard. Exactly, hit the mute button and go on with your game. This but too heroically.